The second part of the video is about Docker containers, lab 2. As I said, Docker container is a product of the Docker image. When you run a Docker image, we get a Docker container. So what does Docker do? It creates a read-write file system as the final layer of the containers. That means when a container is running, you can perform various operations like deleting a directory, making new directories, adding files, removing files, changing these things. It also adds a network interface to the container. Currently, like whenever you start the container, it by default it connect to the driver layer, and you can also change these settings as per your wishes. So many commands you will find in common with the Docker container and Docker images, like the prune command, the ls command, these kinds of. So let's go through it from the basic. So first one is checking out the Docker images, then we will go for the containers. We can see so many images here, and I want to know the container which is running. Docker container ls will give you the list of running containers, and Docker container ls-a will give you a list of all the containers, whether they are running, stopped, exited, or in a paused mode. So Docker container ls. So right now I have only 2 containers running in my system, but if I want to start another container, so I can start it docker run. Let me use this one right now. -d is for the detached mode, and I don't want to enter the container, so I am not giving any other thing. So if I give any ls-a, you can see that a new container is formed, this one, and the image id is this. So if I want to stop the container, so I will stop it, docker container, and the container id, first stop command, and then the container id. I want to stop it, just to show you that what is the difference between ls and ls-a command. So this container will be stopped now. Yeah, it is stopped. So if I give ls-a, you can see this container has exited, but it is already shown here. But if you give only ls, you will only see the list of running containers. Okay, so we are done with ls and ls-a. Then we are also done with how to stop a container. So I will tell you how to remove a container if it is running. So if the container is in the running mode, you need to first stop it and then you need to remove it. If it is already stopped, you can directly remove it. You saw that I stopped the container using docker container stop, and now I am going to remove this container. So docker container, instead of stop, it will be rm. Also keep one thing in mind, like you don't need to give the whole container id. Even if you give some initials like 744b1, then also it will give you all the details here. So now the next part is okay. Now what is does the diff command do? Docker container diff, and which container I should use. Okay, I will just use some part of the image, like a container id 744b1, only this much I will use. Let's see what is the difference made here. So it will list of the changes in the file system, any changes what you have done in the file system or which was done when the container was running, it will be listed by this diff command. Okay, the next command is exec. That means you can enter the running container and perform some actions there by entering. So I will give docker exec and -it, and then I want to enter the container, this one not, sorry, it is, let me copy it, okay, as a bin bash. So I entered as the root user. If I do ls, you can see all the list of directories and everything. If I do cd usr, so I will enter this directory. I can do ls, all the normal Linux commands are working here. You can see I can go back. I can create a new directory also, mkdir my new. Okay, if I do ls, you can see my new is present here. So these are all done by the by entering inside the container. So this command we basically use to enter and do the changes. Okay, so if I want to come out of this, I will type exit, or just command C or Z will work. So exit made me come out of the container, but these things are not permanent. If the container is running, then only these changes will exist. Once the container is stopped and you start a new container with the same image, it will be brand new. So no changes what you did in the previous container will be reflected. Sometimes when you use the volumes, you can see that whatever you shared in the volumes are still retained by the container. So next comes the Docker Compose export command. Export helps you to copy this all file system as a .tar file, and you can save it on your system anywhere. So I will give Docker, okay, container export, and then I want to specify my output area where the file should come. So let me choose any place, documents. Okay, I want you, so you can see this one like this only I will get. I will copy the path here and just give it, and don't forget to give the file name. So I want my new .tar, so it will create a zip file. So now when you see, we can see a my new.tar file here. So this export command is used for this purpose. Then we will come to the inspect command. So doing an inspect, it will give you all the details of the container, on what volumes are there, what network it is running, everything, all the details are there, id, everything is there about it. You can see lots of details are here. So you can choose it when you want to figure out the which network it is. You can see it is automatically connected to the bridge network. As I told you, Docker provides a network interface to the container, and it is by default bridge mostly, but you can also choose to connect to the host as per your requirement. And then the Docker container kill command is used to delete one or more container. So it is same like remove rm. I prefer using rm. Then comes the local logs command. It will give you the logs, all the processes done. So logs and inspect are not same. Inspect gives you the information about the container, and logs give you the log files, like whatever the container has done, performed, etc. So how the workers are working, everything like this kind of information is passed through the Docker logs command. And then the Docker container pause. I will show you the difference between pause and unpause, and stop and restart or start command. So once again, Docker container ls is giving us these commands. Now I will do Docker container pause. And give the id. Okay, now when I do this command, okay, so you can see it has paused and it is being shown in the ls area. Okay, if I give ls -a, where all the containers are stored, whether it is paused, working, or anything, you can see it here. Now I can just unpause it by giving the unpause command. Okay, it's done. Now when you see it, it is present again. But when I give the stop command for this one, you will see the difference. If I give stop here and then print out, so we see only one container here, and if I give ls-a, it will show as exited. You can see here. So you can restart it, this container. So from removing anything from stop, you will have to use restart. Now when I give ls-a, we can see it is up 2 seconds. Don't assume the timing as per your time frame, because these are different. And if I give only ls, then also we can see the command here. So this was the difference between pause, unpause, start and restart. Okay, stop also. And then container top command. So docker it will display the top processes running here. Sorry, in this one you can see the PID and everything. It will show these processes, the top processes of your container, which whatever container is doing. And then docker container update. I am not going to run it, but I will show you the help section of this one. Whenever you are using it for any architecture purpose like Spark and Workers, then you need to provide the cores and the this memory. So you can use -c, the amount of cores you want to provide, and -m, the amount of memory you want to provide through this command. So this was all basics about the docker container command. And docker image run I have already shown. Last time also I will show you docker image run. This command has a lot of parameters. You can do the port mapping, the password can be provided if it is a DB system. You can provide volumes here, you can provide a network here. Too many tags are there for docker container run command. I will make a totally separate video for docker container run. Earlier also I made one video on docker container run, but it was regarding all the basics part only, little bit. But this time I am going to make it in detail, like what are the various combination of tags and how it can be used. So these things were the basic what you need to know before starting with Docker. The next thing comes is writing a proper Docker file for your application, and the next step is writing a proper compose file for your application, and then your application can be completely Dockerized and it is ready for deployment. So Dockerization I have already done, how to explain how to write a Docker file. I will make a video on how to Dockerize our Node.js application, and then we can go ahead with the this compose file. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends.